just saying, in your lousy Instagrams, you don't have to have yourself with walking with black people. And don't bring them into my games, okay?
A sign of unity, the LA Clippers players dumping their warm-up jerseys in a silent protest against the alleged racist comments made by their owner, Donald Sterling.
He's got to come down hard. He shouldn't own a team anymore.
He walked in, inebriated, with a woman on his arm who was also not his wife, and said, "I want to know how you're going to handle these N-word."
Donald Sterling, born Donald Tokowitz on April 26, 1934 in Chicago, moved with his family to Los Angeles at the age of 2. In 1959, at the age of 25, Sterling and his wife Shelley made a significant change. They adopted the surname Sterling, believing it would be easier for his peers to pronounce and bring them financial benefits. Sterling made his fortune in real estate, amassing a portfolio of apartment buildings in Los Angeles. His success in property development brought him into contact with Jerry Buss, who would later become the majority owner of the Los Angeles Lakers. In a twist of fate, the two would indirectly influence each other's journeys into NBA ownership. In 1979, Buss sold a portion of his apartment buildings to Sterling for $2.7 million, using the proceeds to complete his purchase of the Lakers. 2 years later, Buss suggested Sterling follow suit and buy his own NBA team. Taking that advice, Sterling purchased the San Diego Clippers in 1981 for $12.5 million. At his introductory press conference in San Diego, Sterling made ambitious promises to Clippers fans, vowing to spend unlimited sums to build the team into a contender. He launched a bold marketing campaign across the city, plastering his smiling face on billboards and buses with the slogan, "My promise, I will make you proud of the Clippers." However, the reality of his ownership fell far short of the promise. Unlike Buss, who transformed the Lakers into an NBA powerhouse almost overnight, Sterling's Clippers struggled. The team endured season after season of poor performances, not achieving its first winning season until 1991-92, more than a decade into his ownership. By this point, Sterling had earned a reputation as one of the most unsuccessful franchise owners in NBA history. Donald Sterling's time as an NBA owner was marked by tension and conflicts, particularly with league officials. The first major clash occurred in 1982, when Sterling was fined $10,000, the largest fine ever imposed on an owner at the time, for publicly stating that he would accept the Clippers finishing in last place to secure a high draft pick, targeting a player like Ralph Sampson, a practice now known as tanking. That same year, Sterling attempted to move the Clippers from San Diego to Los Angeles without league approval, triggering a full-scale investigation by an NBA committee of 6 team owners. The investigation uncovered troubling financial mismanagement, including late payments to creditors and players. Following the investigation, the committee tried to get Sterling's ownership terminated. Sterling initially agreed to sell the team, and the league began seeking buyers willing to keep the Clippers in San Diego. However, thanks to the intervention of then NBA Vice President David Stern, Sterling was able to retain ownership, a decision that set the stage for further clashes with the league. In 1984, Sterling defied the NBA and relocated the Clippers to Los Angeles, again without league approval. This move resulted in a $25 million fine from the NBA. Sterling retaliated by filing a $100 million lawsuit against the league, only to drop the suit when the fine was reduced to $6 million. Despite these confrontations, Sterling held his ground, rejecting numerous offers to sell the Clippers or relocate the franchise to another city. His refusal to invest significantly in the team and his frugal operations led to decades of mediocrity. The Clippers became synonymous with losing, earning a reputation as the laughingstock of the NBA. By 2009, ESPN the magazine named the Clippers as the worst franchise in professional sports, and Sterling was widely regarded as the worst owner in the industry. A stark analysis revealed that under his ownership, from 1981 to 2014, the Clippers had the worst winning percentage across all 4 major American sports leagues, further cementing Sterling's legacy of failure. On top of his conflicts with the NBA, Sterling's personal life was just as controversial, especially when it came to his annual white parties. These events known for their exclusivity and questionable atmosphere, added another layer to his already troubled reputation.
The next one I want to introduce you to, maybe I've had too much wine.
Maybe not.
Shelley said maybe not enough.
Every summer, Donald Sterling and his wife Shelley hosted extravagant white parties at their Malibu residence. These events, as the name suggests, required all attendees to dress entirely in white, except for Sterling himself, who stood out in all black. The most notable of these events were held at the end of summer, doubling as a kickoff to the Clippers basketball season. They brought together players, season ticket holders, and a variety of other guests. For many, the vibe of these parties felt off. Clippers superstar Blake Griffin recalled his own strange experience at one of these events.
One of the finest athletes I've ever met. I want him to say a few words. The one and only, number one choice in America, Blake Griffin. Sorry.
Sterling, acting more like a ringmaster than a host, led Griffin through the party, gripping his hand and refusing to let go. At one point, two blonde models joined them, clearly hired for the occasion. Griffin tried to signal to one of them that she didn't need to participate, but her expression made it clear she had no choice. Other attendees seemed just as uneasy. Griffin recalled a seasoned guest leaning in to whisper,
"Hey man, just keep smiling, it'll all be over soon."
Unfortunately, Blake Griffin wasn't alone in feeling out of place at these events. Fellow Clipper and frontcourt partner DeAndre Jordan also noted the unsettling atmosphere, which many players described as uncomfortable and strange.
And it was just kind of like his entourage of people, some business people, and the team. Mm-hmm. And what it felt like was showcase of...
It's tall black guys.
He said that. I didn't say that. Paul George said that.
The white parties, though intended to showcase Sterling's wealth and influence, often revealed a darker, more troubling side to the Clippers owner, one that players and guests found hard to ignore. They became symbolic of the disconnect between Sterling's public image and the discomfort he created behind closed doors, setting the stage for the larger scandal that would ultimately lead to his downfall. On April 25, 2014, an audio recording of Donald Sterling was leaked to TMZ, sending shockwaves through the NBA.
The owner of the Los Angeles Clippers is accused of telling his girlfriend not to bring black players to his games.
In the recording, Sterling criticized his then-girlfriend, V. Stiviano, for associating with black people and posting photos with Magic Johnson in particular on Instagram. Among his racist remarks, he told her,
"You could sleep with him, you could bring him in, you could do whatever you want. The little I ask you is not to promote it on that and not to bring him to my games."
The backlash was immediate and overwhelming. Fans, players, and public figures condemned Sterling's comments. 2 days later, the Clippers staged a silent protest during their playoff game by wearing their warm-up shirts inside out, hiding the team logo. The NBA acted quickly. On April 29, 2014, just 4 days after the audio surfaced, Commissioner Adam Silver banned Sterling for life.
Accordingly, effective immediately, I am banning Mr. Sterling for life from any association with the Clippers organization or the NBA.
He also fined him $2.5 million, the maximum fine amount allowed, and pushed for the league's owners to vote on forcing Sterling to sell the Clippers. Sponsors wasted no time cutting ties with the team. Companies like State Farm, Kia, and CarMax pulled their support, and the Clippers brand became toxic overnight. Though Sterling tried to fight back, threatening to sue the NBA, his wife Shelley eventually negotiated a sale of the team to former Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer for $2 billion. A court later upheld her authority to make the sale, officially ending Sterling's 33 years as an owner. The scandal reached beyond sports, drawing commentary from major public figures, including then-President Barack Obama, who condemned Sterling's remarks during a press conference while on an overseas trip.
When ignorant folks want to advertise their ignorance, you don't really have to do anything, you just let them talk, and that's what happened here.
In the wake of Sterling's ban, players, former employees, and others began to speak more freely about his character and past behavior. Stories of his infamous white parties and other questionable conduct resurfaced, painting a fuller picture of a man whose actions had long gone unchecked. The leaked audio didn't just end Sterling's NBA career, it marked a turning point for the league. It reinforced the NBA's commitment to diversity and showed how swift action could address racism in sports. Commissioner Adam Silver's decisive response earned widespread praise and set a precedent for handling similar issues in the future.